Hey guys, back with some more matches with the Ad Nauseum deck. So we are on the draw here, and it looks like we're playing against Infinity. He kept his hand. His hand's probably not too great against him. And unfortunately our land is City of Brass. So here it's either, obviously it's either one of these. I think we're going to take the Temple just because we want to make sure we keep the land drops as well as having a white source that doesn't hurt us from the City of Brass. If any of you guys are watching the LG Virtus Pro match, it's pretty crazy. It's currently 15-14. So, yeah, good thing about this hand is that we do have the Unlife, so that can buy us some extra turn, assuming he doesn't draw an Inkmoth Nexus and a Cranial Plating just to kill us already. So only has one card left in hand. So as long as it's not a Cranial Plating, we should be alright. But it's always a Cranial Plating. So last turn I probably should have taken the Simian Spirit Guide just to have another fast mana source. I bought him that because we really want to hit an untapped land to just be able to jam on an Unlife next turn. The other thing to think about is that if he gains too much life with this, it can be hard for us to go off with the. Of course, it's Cranial Plating. It can be hard for us to go off with the Lightning Storm. Sorry about that. So we did draw an untapped land, so we can play the Unlife here. So this buys us an extra turn, but we still have to actually Angel's Grace, assuming he gets us down to 0. Because, oh wait, never mind. We don't. This is lose life, not damage. What I was thinking is that if this was damage, not lose life, then it wouldn't have the normal infect plan, where I'd be below 0 already and then die because I'd be taking infect damage. That's not how it works. So we should just win the game next turn, as long as he doesn't have like the counterspell thing. Yeah, so he's 37 here, so we are going to have to go for the, what's it called plan? The Lab Maniac plan. What is kind of funny is this does give us infect damage. So yeah, we're just going to draw our deck here and then cast Lab Maniac off of Pentad Prism using the Spirit Guide, and then winning that way. It is important to note here that since I did not cast Angel's Grace, since I cast Ad Nauseum instead, I actually have to be careful when clicking through. Because if I had gone to 0, if I had drawn an extra card there at 0 cards in the library, I would have just lost, whereas if I had cast Angel's Grace, I would not. Alright, so we win game 1. So game 2, we're bringing in Hercule's Recall and Drown in Sorrow and Slaughter Pact. And so this is a assignment where I really just need to do some more research as far as the right way to sideboard with this deck, because I'm still uncertain. We do want to leave in some number of Pact Negations just in case he does, because like I said before, like what happened last game, I might have to end up going for the Lab Maniac kill, and if that happens, then I want to make sure that he doesn't have a kill spool in response. So against him, I think we're actually going to bring out Lotus Blooms on the draw because it might be too slow. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I also really need to start taking a picture and seeing what exactly I'm boarding in each time so I can have that to reference. Sand's not great. So it's kind of slow because of the tap lands. I'm gonna go ahead and keep here just because we do see a lot of cards here between the Scry off of Temple and Sand Visions. Opponent has a good start so far. Yep. It's a pretty good draw. As is that. We shall keep that on top. So playing against this deck, Hercule's Recall is obviously very good, and it's very good if you can get them to activate their lands and attack with their lands in the same turn as when you cast it. So it looks like he might have Master of Ethereum here. So against this hand right now, I think we're going to just play out the Pentad Prism next turn, knowing what card we have on top, because then, wait, Pentad Prism doesn't tap for 2. I was going to say we would play out the Pentad Prism because then we could still Hurkyl's Recall in response if he has another Thoughtseize. I think we're still going to play out the Prism here just as a bad land drop. Because we'd really like to be able to play Unlife next turn. And like I said, we're just kind of hoping he doesn't have another Thoughtseize. Yeah, so like, so basically if I did have the mana to Hurkyl's Recall, I would just take damage here, and then on his end step I would cast it so that he can't attack the next turn. So here we're going to cast Serum Visions to try to hit a land, and then most likely be Hurkyl's Recalling on his turn. We're on the top bottom. Yeah. And we're actually going to play the Unlife here. Because then between the other recalls that we have, it should buy us a couple turns. And there's also the interaction between these two, where oh, so we're just dead. That's unfortunate. Or depending on what he draws, we might be dead. If he has a cranial plating here, we're dead. Okay, so we're dead. So he activates both of these. That was bad. Should have just passed turn with the Angel's Grace in hand and then Hurkyl's Recall. Wait, are we not dead? We're one? Oh, we're not dead. Excellent. One is much better than dead. Although it does kind of limit this for right now. So if I had balls, I would cast the Serum Visions to hit a land, but I'm not going to do that. And if I was playing correctly, I probably should have done this on his upkeep to try to not get killed by a counterspell. And so this is also very good here because he's activating both of these, so it's going to bounce this entire board. Oh right, this target. So I was thinking this is all artifacts, not target player. And he's still going to be able to play a fair amount of his hand back out and have be presenting lethal next turn. So you can replay the Master of Ethereum next turn, so these will be attacking. So here with the option of either burning an Angel's Grace on his turn or using another Hercule's Recall, because I'm mostly wanting to be able to use this. So we really need to draw another land or another spell. And like I said, this is blank right now, unless we're casting Angel's Grace. But ideally we want to hold the Angel's Grace so that we can actually go off. Because sorry, I'm gonna spit out my gum. That's probably annoying to watch. Flash listen to. Yeah, we're still not in a very good position here. So we're going to slide a hand to try to hit an untapped land that is not a City of Brass. So here we're going to take the second Angel's Grace. Then we'll be having 2 turns. Because like I said before, we can... this trigger goes on the stack so we can Angel's Grace, and then we don't die. Grace for days. I'm going to bottom both of these. Also noteworthy is that since we're going to be casting another Angel's Grace here, we can charge this on his turn without dying. Also, we could just die if he had a, what's it called? Cranial Pitting to go on this, because... Wait, never mind. And so this is what I was kind of talking about in the first deck, where Angel's Rays can just work as a fog a lot. And so like I said, we are going to charge Dead Ship Reef with the City of Rest here. It's not what we were looking for. And here, so here I'm actually going to play the Pentad Prism with the Spirit Guide. And this mana. That is bad if he has another Wear Tear, though. That's the other thing. So actually I'm not going to do that because we already have enough mana that if we just... Oh wait, never mind. Yeah, we're pretty much just dead here because we don't have 2 cards in hand. So as far as not dying, we could draw another Hurkyl's Recall next turn. And so this is also why some of the decks actually board in Darkness, which is it's fog, but it costs one single black mana. Yeah, so I think we're only playing, I can't remember how many actual Hurkyl's Recalls we're playing. Alright, so we're just going to concede here. So as we cast this in, he gets to see everything that we drew, or everything that we boarded in. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that I want to change. It's like, the problem with Unlife is it just costs a lot of mana, but it does buy us a basically an extra turn, always. I think we're just going to run it like this. And as always, feel free to comment as far as if you think I should have boarded differently, or how bad I am at boarding, or if you want to say that you love me, or anything like that. So love you too, guys. Appreciate you watching. One day I'm going to be a lot better with this deck than I am currently. We'll be on the play. And we'll keep this hand. This hand's not great, but since it has the Lotus Bloom and 2 cards that we can cast right now, it's unfortunate it was not on. Doesn't matter. Or 3 cards we can cast. So next turn we are most likely going to Sleight of Hand if we don't draw a land, just because that gives us a better chance of hitting a land. I'm just going to hope that he doesn't have a nut draw. Although, I bet the Sleight of Hand is going to be land Hercules Recall, and then we're going to have to make that hard decision. Drew a land, that's very important. I think we're still going to cast Sleight of Hand, so then if we draw an untapped blue source, we'll cast another one. We're going to keep the Nauseum. Right. Pretty far off from casting the one I have in hand. And actually, there I probably should have played the Serum Visions, just to try to set up a land draw for next turn. And I could almost see boarding out the Lightning Storms against him because of this card. Just because a lot of times it's going to be pretty hard to actually kill him with that. So here we're going to these 2 cards in hand. So the 2 different considerations is one, if he has Wear Tear. So if we just jam Unlife here and he has Wear Tear, that's very bad. But if he does not have Wear Tear, then next turn we can kill him. So we'll have the Lotus Wood coming in, and then we'll have 6 mana total. Let's see what we strike first. Because the other option is if we Sleight of Hand, and we could still use this to hit an untapped land. But, this also lets us know if we have Hercules Recall on top. And if we did, then we would just cast that. Don't want that though. So I think we're just going to jam the Unlife here, and if he has it, then he has it. Oh wait, we can't actually cast that. Never mind, we're not going to do that. So we're going to keep both these on top. So next turn, if we don't die this turn, which we should not, we'll pass back to him, cast Hercules Recall, and then untap and kill him. 14. So we're going to 2. Counting right. Oh, nope, not counting right. That was bad. So, obviously there, it would have been better if I could have played that, but I could not. Oh well. That was unfortunate.